And last night, Astros and Red Sox kicked off the holiday weekend with some fireworks of their own. Today, on Independence Day, right here in Beantown, the Astros look to take the series, and they go for their 6th consecutive win. Astros baseball on Root Sports starts right now.
It took 10 innings last night, but the Houston Astros got the job done, beating the Boston Red Sox in the series opener. Today's game features a couple of hot right-handers as Colin McHugh goes for the Stros against Boston's Clay Buchholz. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. A good win last night, despite the fact that it took 4 hours and 23 minutes. But always a nice W when you get that one.
Yeah, they took their time a little bit. Some quirky plays throughout that game, but Carlos Correa picking up the Astros, leading them to victory last night.
Colin McHugh seeks that victory today against the Red Sox. Colin really good, 3-0 in his last 3, and beating the Yankees with a fine effort last time out.
Yeah, seeming to find his way. That start out in Anaheim is one that really turned the corner for Colin McHugh, slowed down his motion a little bit. For me, for him to be effective, he's got to throw that fastball. We know he likes to climb the ladder and locate that up in the zone, get some swings and misses. But what that does is raise the eye level and allow him to throw that nasty 12-6 breaking ball to put guys away that they're only hitting 181 against this year.
Coming up, the Fenway Fireworks had a Houston flavor last night as the reigning American League Rookie of the Month came up clutch in the Astros win. How's Carlos Correa enjoying his inaugural run in the big leagues? Julia talks about that and more when we return.
Set Carlos Correa providing some highlights from Game 1 in his memorable debut. 3 hits, of course, the big home run over the Green Monster, and another big hit to put the Astros on top as they won the first game of this series. A.J. Hinch continues to be impressed with his rookie. He's our Geico quote of the day. Here's what he said last night. "We're witnessing a good player. The kid is uniquely gifted. He rises to the moment. He loves playing. He plays with a real calm heartbeat, a really talented player who's adjusted quickly to the big leagues and certainly is a big player for us. Carlos Correa coming up not once but twice. Huge for this team in that first win, guys. It's an exciting player to watch, and he'll be in there again.
No doubt about it, a very exciting player, and I think one of those special players that the Astros will be able to ride quite a bit of the time. Carlos Correa, big night last night and a big part of the victory for Houston. So we're set to go. Game 2 here, this 3-game series from Boston's fabled Fenway Park. And it looks like another packed house. We had one last night, over 38,000 fans on hand. Jose Altuve, one of 2 Astros with 3 hits in the ball game. The other being Carlos Correa. Every member of the lineup last night was able to get at least 1 hit. The Astros with 17 knocks on the evening. And the first pitch of the afternoon is drilled to center field deep, going back at the wall and making a fine grab at the wall. That's a heck of a play to start the ball game. 1 up, 1 down on this play. Mookie Betts making it.
Yeah. Jose Altuve trying to ambush right here, gets himself a fastball. Mookie Betts up to the challenge here early on. Great play. Know your yard. That's a humongous warning track out there.
Clay Buchholz appreciates the effort by Betts. So 1 out. Routine, huh? Preston Tucker at the plate. Maybe just a sign of things to come this afternoon, and that's kind of how it went last night. By the way, Jose Altuve has an 8-game hitting streak on the line. Make that 11, excuse me. It's taken at the knees. A ball and a strike on Preston Tucker.
And that's a cut fastball from Clay Buchholz. That's a pitch he relies on quite a bit.
Breaking ball. Popped down the right side. In play for Napoli, who makes the catch, and 2 outs. Today's Astros starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It has Jose Altuve in the top spot, followed by Preston Tucker. You've seen them. Carlos Correa follows in the 3 slot. Middle 3, Luis Valbuena, Evan Gattis, and Colby Rasmus. In the bottom 3, John Singleton, Hank Conger, and Alex Presley. Two outs in the first. The Astros in first place, best record in all of the American League, 48-34, 5 games in front in the West. Angels in second place, Texas 6.5 back, sitting in third place. Buchholz finds the strike zone at 93 miles an hour. Carlos Correa with his 3 hits last night, now hitting an even 300 on his season. One ball, 1 strike. So Correa already has that notch in his belt, hitting a home run at Fenway Park, up and over the monster in left center field. Huge swing late in the ball game that gave the Astros the lead. They would not, well, let's see, they would relinquish. It went to 8-8 before the Astros scored 4 in the 9th or 10th inning rather. 1-2. Carlos yet to swing it. 2-2 now. And again, as we talked about in the open, a couple of very hot right-hand pitchers. Clay Buchholz going against Colin McHugh. Down on strikes, Correa, 1-2-3 first inning with a punch out for Buchholz as we go to the bottom of the first, scoreless game. get a little bit of rain this afternoon. The Boston Red Sox bring their starting lineup to you. It looks like this from skipper John Farrell. Mookie Betts, the center fielder, leads it off, followed by Brock Holt, who tears up the Astros. Xander Bogaerts, fine shortstop, is batting third. In the middle, David Ortiz, he's the DH. In left field, Hanley Ramirez and Pablo Sandoval. At third base in the bottom three, Mike Napoli at first. Right fielder today, just called up, Shane Victorino, and Sandy Leon is the catcher.
Colin McHugh on the mound for the Houston Astros, making his 17th start. Those last 3 starts have been nice. In his last 2 starts, he's gone 16 innings, giving up 3 earned runs and striking out 14.
So Clay Buchholz, just 9 pitches needed in the first inning as he goes 1, 2, 3. And now Colin McHugh misses on Mookie Betts. Betts hitting .278, playing a nice center field for the Red Sox. And Colin falls behind 2-0. Colin McHugh, 8 innings in each of his last 2 starts. And again, we talked about the 3 consecutive wins for Colin. Finds the plate with that slider, a little cutter. See the different look with the uniforms today. Each club wearing special patriotic caps and jerseys in honor of the 4th of July. And our chance to wish you all a very happy 4th of July. Three and 1 on Betts. Colin brings it. And a leadoff walk. Well, that's not the way Colin wanted to get the afternoon started. That'll bring up Brock Holt. A.J. Hinch flashing out the signs for catcher and for the infielders. Over the last 5 months of the regular season now for Colin McHugh, dating back to August 1st of last year, he's posted a 16-3 record. So he's been very effective for the Astros as he brings the strike. Mookie Betts certainly can run at first base. John Singleton getting the start down there at first today. Drawn in on the third base side, Luis Valbuena, anticipating the possibility of a bunt. Boston Red Sox have stolen 34 bases on the year, caught just 14 times. The 34 bags represent 11th best in the American League. And Mookie Betts is the leader. 13 bags on his season, caught just 4 times. Good swing as Brock Holt fouls it back. Product of Rice University. Holt 27 years of age. Blummer talked about his desire to see Colin McHugh throw that fastball up, utilize the inside corner. Certainly a key for the right-hander. There are times when it seems, at least to me, Blummer, that fastball just kind of gets away. The command becomes elusive, and he depends on that cutter, maybe sometimes the slider.
It's the only pitch he can make come back to the plate. Sometimes he rushes it towards home plate, and the arm drags behind.
Little fister dropping in right field, will drop in front of Tucker. Racing all the way to third base is Betts. A walk and a single. The Red Sox have runners at the corners with nobody out for Xander Bogaerts.
Get a chance. We're going to check out the defense for the Houston Astros. Preston Tucker in left. Colby Rasmus back in that lineup in center field. Alex Presley moving from center to right. Couple hits last night. Valbuena and Correa on the left side. Altuve and Singleton back at first base. on the right side, and Hank Conger gets to do the catching for Colin McHugh this afternoon.
Well, the Red Sox put on a threat here in the first inning. Xander Bogaerts has done a real nice job hitting .300 for Boston as he fouls it back. The Boston Red Sox 37-45 after last night's 10-inning loss to Houston. 7 games back in the American League East. The Yankees are now in front. It's been going round and round between New York, Baltimore, and Tampa Bay. Toronto has been right there striking. They're 2 games back. Command elusive at the moment for Colin McHugh. Lumber, we talked about how much a win like last night's hard fought for 10+ innings, 10 innings in that case, but almost 4.5 hours. How much it means to a team like the Astros to get the W? How tough is it on the other side for the Red Sox?
I think it's just maybe a microcosm of their entire season, having a tough time. They just don't have enough in the tank. They don't have the pitching to shut down that other team when they get that lead. Bullpens are an issue. We saw the Astros bullpen give up a little bit last night, but they're able to hold on. They get picked up by their offense, which I think is pretty unique because all season long the starting staff and the rotation have picked up the Astros, but last night it was the offense doing the damage.
Ground ball through a big hole on the right side. That's a base hit. Scoring easily, Mookie Betts. Stopping at second is Brock Holt. And the Red Sox, after 3 hitters come to the plate in the first inning, lead it 1-0.
Rough start for Colin. Brent Strom's going to come out and talk about it a little bit. But when you're falling behind in counts, having a tough time with command, even some of the 2-strike pitches you're trying to get over the plate and put on the edge or left up out over the plate. And that ball elevated cutter. Easy for the right-handed batter. Bogaerts to just go with it.
36 RBIs now for Xander Bogaerts. What do you think this conversation's about right here?
Well, knowing Brent Strom and Colin McHugh, it's going to be a little bit mentality. It's going to be maybe a little bit of mechanics. I wonder if Brent Strom is seeing something, because I know I had the chance to talk to Colin McHugh after his start in Anaheim where he pitched so well, and he had said something about slowing down his motion a little bit, bringing that knee up a little bit, getting on that backside, which creates a little more balance for him, and it enables him to go a little more downhill towards home plate. When he's going downhill towards home plate, it's much easier for him to get on top of that fastball and that cutter.
Yeah, now David Ortiz, Big Papi at the plate, hitting .233, but always dangerous. 14 home runs, 41 ribbies. There's that fastball missing on the arm side. All-time Red Sox runs batted in players. Carl Yastrzemski leads. David Ortiz 5th on that great list.
Big names.
Curveball looked like it had a chance of catching the knees at the front of the plate.
That was a pretty good pitch, and it gives us a chance to look at our strike zone. It's going to be presented by M.D. Anderson. Good 1-0 breaking ball. Just low. From that vantage point we're given on the monitor, I thought that was a pretty good pitch.
Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire. Ortiz pops it foul back to the seats. Along with Chris Guccione, the first base umpire is Clint Fagan. Laz Diaz at second. And at third, Corey Blazer. 2-1 on David Ortiz. Nobody out here in the first inning. Already a run in. Of course, after watching last night's game and the ability for both clubs to battle back, I imagine it's not going to feel like you're out of this game at all. Check of the runner at second. And 3-1. So Colin continues to fall behind. These Boston Red Sox, despite great support here at home, just 17-21 at Fenway Park. They are 20-24 away from home. One of the great tickets in all of professional sports. Popped up on the left side of the infield, and now coming in shallow left field to make the play is Preston Tucker. Out number one here in the first inning.
There's a big out. You can see with the shift, kind of easy for the left fielder to come in with that green monster so shallow behind him. Preston Tucker comes in and makes a play easy. But do you think Big Poppy knows he missed one right there?
I took the assumption that he wasn't too pleased.
You have a keen sense for the obvious, Ash.
Only when it's obvious. That brings up Hanley Ramirez. Off-season acquisition. Grounds one foul.
Get a chance to look at our Supermo. It's going to be presented by Mattress Firm. See what Ash was talking about, what he noticed. But that was a fastball center cut and a good hitter's count. You could see immediately David Ortiz knew he let one get by. Still showing a pretty good arm, though.
Fastball hit in the air to center field. Colby Rasmus back in action, now has to come hard to make the play, and finally gets there, second out of the inning. That'll bring up Pablo Sandoval. See that look of these special uniforms today.
This day and age, with all of the charity auctions and things like that going on, it's kind of cool that the Major League Baseball allows these uniforms. See the American flag represented on the arm sleeve. Unique hats, real subtle American flag in the background. Pretty good looking stuff.
Trey Hillman, the fine bench coach of the Astros. What a great baseball man he is. 2 outs for Sandoval. Had a couple of big hits against left-hand pitching last night, batting from this left side. He has been through his career a switch hitter, but now has shut down the right side. He had almost no positive impact from the right side at all early on in the season, but against left-handers left-handed, he's been really good. Collins just simply not sharp here in the first inning.
Yeah, you saw the splits on Sandoval, 182, 186. Can't remember what the number is. Quite low left-handed, but that's actually an improved number since he's been hitting left on left. When he was hitting right-handed against left-handers, it was at a .049 batting average.
Dangerous 2-0 count. Fastball right on the hands.
Well, you know, the Panda is a free swinger. Get it somewhere in the vicinity of home plate, especially in a 2-0 count. He's going to give it a hack.
2 for 5 last night. Had a couple of RBIs for the Sox. Came up with the Giants in 2008. And now in his first year with the Boston Red Sox. 7 dingers on his season. Again on the hands. And again fouled off. 2-2 the count now on the Big Panda.
Good job of battling back. How happy would Colin McHugh be if he got out of this inning only giving up 1 run?
Last 5 years. Pretty productive player. Not one of those 100 RBI guys. Gets on base. In the 2011 season, 23 home runs. Half swing went through. Home plate umpire takes it himself. So Guccione rings him up. That'll do it for the Giants. They get a run on a couple of hits and a crucial walk. And after one, lead it 1-0. This is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. And brought to you by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. Astros fans, everywhere you look here in Boston. Very loyal bunch, though, and Clay Buchholz, his Blummer sizes up his season.
Yeah, he's doing all right, making his 8th start here at Fenway Park. Doesn't pitch too well here, 2-4, 4.13 ERA. He's got great numbers against those Houston Astros over his career.
Luis Valbuena, the cleanup man, leads it off. Takes that curveball up and away. So you've got the Astros, the best record in the American League. The Boston Red Sox don't have the worst record. That honor belongs to the Chicago White Sox, who are 35-42. Actually, upon further review, the Boston Red Sox, who have 37 wins, have simply played more games, lost 3 more times than the White Sox. And the Red Sox do have the worst winning percentage at .451. Two balls and a strike now on Valbuena. Luis with 19 home runs, a .197 batting average. Foul to the seats down the left field side. Albert Pujols continues to lead the American League in home runs at 24. Nelson Cruz and Mike Trout at 21, along with J.D. Martinez. Mark Teixeira has 20, and then you find one Luis Valbuena. He's right there with the big boys, has the shift on.
Got the big panda playing second base.
Little looper down the left field side, dropping quickly, and drops fair and kicks into the seats. That will be a friendly double to lead off the second inning by Luis Valbuena.
Ooh, that's some kind of special. That drop shot right there from a guy who has 19 bombs. Isn't baseball great? Pretty good fastball to hit. Up and in, fights it off. But it's all about location. This one drops perfectly. You see majority of the fielders on the right side. Hanley Ramirez has no shot trying to get this ball down that left field line.
Just the 8th double on the year for Valbuena. Get yourself a good real estate agent. That's definitely what it's about. Evan Gattis stands in, nobody out. Evans hitting his last 4.
You want to let the ball get deep. Sometimes it's a good thing. You see that label coming through, and that's about where that ball hit on the barrel.
Buchholz generally slows down his game once he has base runners. Has a 1-1 count on Gattis. Evan hitting .242.
So Clay Buchholz has a good cutter. If you're a right-handed hitter, it's trying to differentiate the difference between the fastball and the cutter. Usually the cutter is going to start on that outside edge, break away, possibly on that outer edge or off the plate. So you kind of want to visualize seeing that pitch middle in if you're going to go attack it.
The Astros lead the American League in stolen bases with 66. And clearly Buchholz has his mind on Luis Valbuena at second base. The Astros were 8 for 21 with men in scoring position last night as Gattis takes a rip. One and two on Evan. Evan Gattis is certainly doing what he was brought over to do for the Astros. Not only hit the long ball, but drive in runs in particular. He leads the club in RBIs at 49. Hits one on the ground right side. He'll get a job done here. First out of the inning, moves Valbuena 90 feet away. And with one out, Kobe Rasmus comes to the plate.
Gaddis has done a good job of going up the middle the other way. But in this situation, 2 strikes, it's actually a gift. Up and away, that one's an easy one to put on that right side of the infield, allowing Valbuena to get to third base easy.
So that potential tying run 90 feet away now. Colby Rasmus hasn't played in a while. It's a fastball right there for a strike. It kicks away from Leon, but not enough for Valbuena to come to the plate.
Good job of knocking that pitch down.
Yeah, you're right. Hence the big smile.
That was a good number they just had on the bottom of the screen on Colby Rasmus. 806 OPS. It's 7th among outfielders here in the American League. That's a good number.
He draws the shift. It's an unusual one with the infield drawn in for the Red Sox. And now the count at 0-2.
Well, there's a good fastball from Clay Buchholz. He knows that Colby Rasmus likes the fastball. Colby has actually had some success hitting it, but also that cutter. If he can keep that cutter in on the hands, the only way that Colby Rasmus is going to be able to keep it fair is by getting jammed and maybe hitting a weak ground ball. But you'd like to see him just hit a nice lazy line drive to right, drive that run in.
But Rasmus down on strikes. A costly second out. John Singleton will come to the plate.
That was a good pitch. We talked about how he has a good fastball, the cutter on the inside corner. As a left-handed hitter, you don't want to get blown up, so you're going to leak out a little bit. And if you're geared up for 93 miles an hour and you see 81 miles an hour, this is the swing you're going to get. Great changeup.
It's been a key pitch right from the beginning for Clay Buchholz. Has a very good one. He's got a nice curveball, cuts the ball, as Blummer's talking about. The full assortment. And now John Singleton stands in. John had a big night last night, hitting 188 as he takes a strike. Colby Rasmus, by the way, had not appeared in a game since June 27th. That in that Yankees series. Ooh, fouled back. Big swing by John. 0-2 the count.
A little disappointed right there. He guessed right, got a pitch to hit.
Singleton last night just 1 for 6, scored a run, but he drove in 3 on that night. There's only 3 ribbies on the season. And down on strikes. The changeup gets him as Singleton was way in front. Third strikeout for Buchholz, and he gets out of the jam. 1-0 Boston.
Rasmus, good to see him back out there in center field. A center field he knows well from his days in Toronto playing here at Fenway. A lot very comfortable out there, but good to be over the skin infection that he was recovering from. Getting that from a bug bite got pretty serious there as he spent a few days in the hospital getting antibiotics through an IV. Feeling much better, though, obviously, as he's out there. But funny how this game works, guys. They have 3 center fielders all healthy, and then all of a sudden they don't. Jake Marisnick, George Springer, and then Colby suffering from the skin infection. But good news, Jake Marisnick will be on his way here tomorrow. We'll see if he's in the lineup or not, but he is good to go after a great game in Fresno on a rehab assignment last night.
Good to hear, Julia, and we look forward to seeing Jake Marisnick. Mike Napoli, the 7-hitter, leads it off. Had a long, tough night last night for the Red Sox. Took an over with the bat, and then late in the game saw a line drive hit by Preston Tucker go right through his legs. Here's a little flip at first base by John Singleton. And fortunately for Colin McHugh, it comes right to him. It'll go a casual 3-1, anything but.
That was awesome.
You think that's the way John planned it?
Well, I was just going to say, if we didn't know any better, that's how John wanted to play it off. Gets behind it a little bit, tries to go attack that short hop, and just ends up flipping it in a perfect location for Colin McHugh to pick it up and make the play.
This has got to make some highlight reels.
That is awesome. I mean, you can't teach that. That's just natural ability.
Yes, it is. 1 out, though, in the second inning. Tough times for Mike Napoli continue. It brings up Shane Victorino. Victorino is coming off a rehab assignment of his own. Two 2-0 the count as Colin falls behind. Victorino was on the 15-day DL. That would be the 15-day DL. Left calf strain, along with the right hamstring strain. Victorino's in the middle of a 6-game hitting streak, hits one sharply and extends that to 7 games with a base hit into left field. So Boston Red Sox fans say welcome back to Shane Victorino.
Looking for games on certain days of the week with giveaways, your favorite rivalries, or maybe a little of each. With the Astros 14-game flex plan, you get to pick the game and seat locations that work best for you. Purchase your 14-game flex plan today by visiting astros.com/tickets or calling 1-877-9-ASTROS.
With 1 out, Victorino aboard. It brings up Sandy Leon, hitting 146. He has not delivered a long ball, has 3 RBIs. Kicks the high breaking ball for a strike. For Victorino, that was his first appearance for the Red Sox since May 23rd, and he was 1 for 1 in that game. Victorino, a guy who once upon a time could run very well. Now 34 years of age. He has stolen 3 bags in 3 tries this year. Another shift on for the Astros, as that one is nowhere close. A ball and a strike.
Shifts are always interesting for me with less than 2 outs, runner on first base. You want that double play, but really the only ground ball you probably can't turn a double play on is a ground ball right at Carlos Correa, because Correa is going to be able to cover with Altuve.
There goes Victorino, line drive up and over Altuve. That's a base hit. Digging for third, Victorino and the Red Sox again have runners at first and third. 1 out here in the second inning, and back to the top of the order with Mookie Betts.
Solid base hit from Leon. See, trying to climb the ladder, and that's that cutter. Just does a good job of pulling the hands in and rolling the hands over to barrel that ball up. Nice line drive into right. Good piece of hitting from Leon.
Mookie Betts drew a walk and scored the first Boston run, the only run of the ball game. Slider is rammed to left field. Tucker's there to make the catch, tagging at third, and coming to the plate, Victorino. Throw goes into second. Sac fly. The Red Sox on top 2-zip here in the second. Now the Red Sox have it working early offensively against Colin McHugh. Two down now. Leon at first base for Brock Holt, who had a base hit in the first. And we talked about it last night. Brock Holt out of Rice University. Over a 400 batting average lifetime against Houston. Having a nice season, hitting .301. Two and 0 the count, and Colin continues to battle with that strike zone.
On the year, averaging about just over 2 walked batters per 9 innings for Colin McHugh. But we've really seen stretches of wildness, and I mean stretches of a couple starts in a row where he has a tough time and he has to battle through those control issues, and then he'll have 2 or 3 games where he's dialed in.
3-0.
Overcompensating right there.
Sometimes you just wonder where it goes, and yet we've talked about all the success that Colin has had. He has been simply a winner for the Astros since coming over. Issues the walk to Holt. Second walk issued now by McHugh. We're just in the second inning. Runners at first and second for 3 hitter Xander Bogaerts.
I mean, just something a little interesting. The month of April, granted it was only 4 starts. He walked 4 batters in that month. In the month of May, walked 7 batters. In June, jumped up to 13.
In fact, talking about the success of Colin McHugh, you combine him with Dallas Keuchel. They've combined to go 19-6 this year.
Well, that stat I was talking about earlier, since August 1st of 2014, he leads Major League Baseball with 16 wins. So even with the issues, he's able to go out there and grind it out and give his offense a chance to pick him up.
Talk about the 19-6 record combining Colin McHugh and Dallas Keuchel. The team has gone 23-10 in their starts.
How about this? You ready for Colin McHugh's run support average?
Bring it.
6.29 runs per game.
So that doesn't hurt a bit, and the Astros have been rising in that category. Ground ball left side. Nice play by Valbuena. He'll get the out, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in the second. But they get another run after 2 innings of play. 2-0. Boston on top.
We talked about the success of Clay Buchholz against these Houston Astros back on, I believe, June 13th of 2014. He had 12 punch-outs. See the career stats against the Astros on the bottom, but that was a career-high 12 strikeouts. Working the fastball, the cutter on the outside corner. He does have a good breaking ball, but really goes to that changeup against left-handed hitters, and really no answer for it in these past games or here early on for the Houston Astros.
2-0 Red Sox. Hank Conger, the 8-hitter, leads it off. Takes the curveball that catches the outside edge. Conger hitting .230. He's been effective with the bat, hitting 4 home runs on his season. And 11 RBIs. Can be tough to be that backup catcher, but he's done a nice job. On the defensive side, Jason Castro has been spectacular, in particular with his throwing game. Bunt attempt third base side is foul, and no third baseman anywhere in sight with a shift on.
Not a bad idea. You get it down, you look like a genius. You don't, you're down 0-2.
I think one thing in watching Conger there, he might have been trying too fast to get out of the box. Just go ahead and put one down on that third base side, and you got yourself a knock. Maybe he was thinking double.
Yeah, if that thing's fair, it might be.
Fastball just inside. Pretty good looking pitch.
Good take. My goodness.
Don't want to take that one too many times.
I think that one locked everybody up.
The 1-2 to Hank. Protecting and stays alive.
Another good changeup.
He's got a good
spoiled
one.
It.
Yep.
No, for me, Buchholz has 4 legitimate big league pitches.
Been working with George Springer's barber too, I think.
Missed a spot.
There's that backdoor curveball that he got the first pitch strike called on.
And just off. Conger showing a good eye.
There's George. He is the trendsetter. And the Astros going to miss him for probably 8 weeks. Ground ball goes foul.
Nice play by Reba.
You got Reba in there today.
Yeah.
Shania down the left field side.
Could be. Either that or Carey. Yeah, there's Reba. They're good here. Girls they have playing down the line, they make some fantastic plays. There she is. That's Shania.
Pop shallow into left field. Hanley Ramirez comes on and makes the catch. That's 1 out in the 3rd inning. Going to bring up 9-hitter Alex Presley, getting the start in right. Presley in last night's game played in center field. Colby was not available at that point, but now back in action.
That was a pretty good at bat by Conger. I always felt, even though I didn't get a hit maybe in my first at bat, as long as you got to see all 4 pitches from that pitcher, you had a pretty good idea moving forward in the next couple at bats. And that's what Conger did. He saw every pitch that Clay Buchholz had to offer.
Back-to-back hitters now. Buchholz showing the curveball for the first strike. That a lot of times can be a real key for a guy. Sets up other at bats where hitters don't know what to look for. Third baseman, the Panda, coming in, drawn in well inside that baseline. Presley hitting a cool 400. Get your camera out and take that shot. Remind folks it's July. Takes the fastball on the inside edge. So yeah, in July I was hitting 400.
So you're saying he's the only one to carry a 400 average this late into the season?
Well, I don't know if he's the only one, but he's among the few. The proud. Gets a piece and fouls it back. The Astros, of course, had Presley on the roster last year, and he did a nice job. Runs well, plays a good outfield. And fouls it left side. 1-2 on Alex. 2 for 5 in last night's game. Drove in a run. That was his Fenway debut. Played in 64 games at Fresno this year, hitting .308. 12 doubles, a couple of long balls. Takes strike 3, inside edge. Clay Buchholz is sharp. Gets his second out here in the 3rd inning. 4th strikeout of the afternoon.
Such a tough pitch. As a hitter, you're on defense trying to just fight pitches off, but then you get painted 93 on the inside corner. Just got to tip your cap and tell the pitcher he made an excellent pitch to punch you out looking.
Jose Altuve stands in. Fly deep to center field to start the ball game. 11-game hitting streak in tow. Another breaking ball, this time more of that slider that he bends in. Kind of a tweener breaking ball.
Good old-fashioned slurve.
That's what it looks like. And at 79, that's taking quite a bit off of a slider. 0-2 now on Jose. What were those 11 games for the hitting streak? Kind of numbers you could live with.
Ain't that the truth? A couple of bombs mixed in there too.
So if he could continue a somewhat similar pace, can he get back in that batting race this year?
I don't see why not.
Take strike 3. He's down on strikes. 5 on the afternoon now for Buchholz. As he's worked through 3, it's a Red Sox 2-0 lead.
And Houston Methodist helps us get to know the Boston Red Sox legend Teddy Williams. The kid played his entire career with Boston, 2,654 career hits, the career .344 hitter. Also served in the U.S. Navy and Marines from 43 before returning to baseball. But he also hit the longest home run here at Fenway Park, measured at 502 feet, and the red seat, it's painted red in a sea of green. There's people in the seats right now, but Jared's sitting in the red seat right now. How cool is it for you to sit in this red seat?
Oh, that's pretty cool with all the history with it.
You know the history, right?
Yeah.
You don't want me to quiz you?
Longest home run hit.
Does it cost more to sit in this seat than it does in the one I'm in?
I don't know.
You didn't pay for the ticket. I'm being told that they all cost the same, but it is pretty cool. A lot of history. Guys, 502 feet. I feel so far from home plate right now. It's almost unbelievable what Teddy Williams did.
Thanks, Julia. David Ortiz has his sights on you right now, Julia. David Ortiz Fly to left field in the first inning. That was the first out in that frame. First three hitters, Betts, Holt, and Bogarts, reached against McHugh as the Red Sox put a run on the board in the first, one more in the second, lead it 2-0. Ortiz with a 1-1 count. Curveball stays away. David Ortiz has had his struggles this year, but it's not the first slow start that Ortiz has had in recent years. And he's taken a lot of criticism, but then really regrouped. In fact, you go back probably 5 years ago, he had a miserable start, and a lot of people thought maybe he was done. But he turned it right back around and has continued to be one of the game's most dangerous left-hand hitters. 39 years of age and a 3-2 count. Colin trying to get that leading hitter here in the third inning. This one's popped up on the left side. Conger has to go a long way with no third baseman. And Hank makes a nice play for the first out of the inning. Splendid splinter. Not too bad. 17 All-Star appearances.
Just amazing what he was able to do. Remember, he missed time going into the military too, being a fighter pilot.
See some of the photos of Ted Williams here around the ballpark at Fenway, and he was just such a, the splendid splinter. You kind of get used to the term, but he was just a skinny guy as a young kid.
Yeah, he was thin as a rail, but could absolutely rake.
Retired numbers for the Red Sox, and of course Jackie Robinson at the end of that list. There's that slider for a strike, or cutter at 88. That's a big cutter in my book. Hanley Ramirez at the plate.
It's actually impressive that he can break it off at 88 miles an hour and have that much movement on it too.
I'd say that's about a foot from side to side.
I'm going with 11 1/4 inches.
It might be even more than that. Who knows? We'll get Hank Conger to size it up for us. There's that Ted Williams seat. Julia did all she could to get in that seat, couldn't get there. It's a pretty good bomb.
Sure is.
I could picture Ortiz getting into one and putting it up there.
I'm actually surprised. I wonder how many times he's gotten somewhat close, because he can crush a baseball.
Ball and 2 strikes on Hanley Ramirez. Fly to center in the first. Hit his 17th home run on the season last night. Pablo Sandoval waits on deck. Off speed from Colin.
Seen that helmet come flying off a couple times. Maybe need a little pine tar inside that helmet.
Chin straps maybe will work.
Ooh, there we go. Bring that back. Those were attractive.
See how a helmet comes off in slow-mo.
I guess if you want to show off your flowing dreadlocks, that's what you want to do.
See, it's more complicated than you might have guessed when you watch it that slow. High heat, grounded to first base. This time Singleton takes it himself to the bag, and the second out here in the third inning. No flips involved at all. With 2 outs, base is empty now. Pablo Sandoval will come to the plate. McHugh looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Clay Buchholz already has picked up a pair of those, first inning and third. Sandoval, the only victim of the strikeout so far today for Colin McHugh. That's a good look here at Fenway. Little chopper first base side. It'll be Altuve with the play. And a nice 1-2-3 inning. A couple of ground balls. Colin McHugh starting to find that strike zone. But 2-0 Boston.
Astros face off against their in-state rivals, the Rangers, in a 3-game series, July 17th to the 19th. On Friday the 17th, 10,000 fans will receive a Lone Star Series replica silver boot presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com.
Even the Ivy League patriotic here today. That's Preston Tucker batting in the 2 spot, takes a strike. Preston popped to first base in the first inning. Clay Buchholz has struck out 5 already. This one popped up on the left side. Is there room? Sandoval leans in and makes a nice grab, and then tries to become a member of the Astros dugout. Get yourself a seat early on the flight leaving Boston tomorrow.
It was a nice play. Plenty of foul territory on the left side, actually towards the dugouts. As once you get past the dugouts, the stands start to come in rather quickly. Extending nicely, knowing where he's at. A little extra flop to get in there and meet Dan Straley. Great play. Oh, how about Velasquez with a spike to the neck?
Man, talk about getting dangerous at that point.
Hope he's all right.
We're going to have to check on Velasquez following this game. Yeah, everything's fine to that point.
Watching your lower left. Those cleats start coming around. Velasquez trying to hold him up, but gets. Oh my goodness.
Looked like Colin got a bird's eye view of that thing. Carlos Correa struck out in the first inning, took the first couple of strikes, and takes strike number 1 here. Batting average at .297, 6 big home runs. Watch Carlos take batting practice today, and he can just bust some balls, and he's not even swinging hard. Ground ball right side. Long way to go for Holt. Makes the play, throws out Correa, second out of the inning.
Nice play by Brock. But how about all the extra attention that Carlos Correa gets on top of it? Now he's coming through with some clutch hits. He's going to be a marked man from opposing pitching staffs now.
Luis Valbuena has the only Houston hit. That was a little pop fly flare down the left field side, dropped for a hit, kicked into the seats, turned into a ground rule double. That was leading off the second inning. He got to third with one out, but then Rasmussen Singleton struck out. Shows bunt. Sandoval playing close up on that third base side. Ground ball right side. On the outfield grass is Holt. Another ground ball out. A 1-2-3 inning third on the afternoon recorded by Clay Buchholz.
This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer, and here are your clues. Played in the Little League and Major League Baseball World Series. Fourth in the 1995 National League batting race, and he was acquired from San Diego in 1994. You can tweet at us your guesses, but we will name the Astro later in today's game. Guys?
Thanks, Julia. That's intriguing. You got a clue on that one, Blummer?
Acquired from San Diego. I've got an idea.
Yeah? What a day here in Boston. Happy 4th of July. 2-0 Red Sox. To the bottom of the fourth we go.
I may have actually mentioned that player in yesterday's broadcast, or I made a reference towards that player.
Ground ball third base side. Valbuena is going to have to make a tough one, and he makes it beautifully. Mike Napoli retired on one pitch. One down as Shane Victorino comes to the plate.
That is a really good play. You kind of take it for granted. I know Napoli's not the most fleet of foot going down to first base, but it was a pretty tough hop. I'm going to cheer on every third baseman that makes these good plays running in. Kind of an in-between hop, catches it nicely. But for me, that throw being on the money the way it is gives you an idea of Valbuena's arm strength throwing back across his body. Nice play.
Yeah, that's coming full on to the baseball.
I like it.
One out. Victorino had a base hit in his return to the Red Sox, scored a run. That was number 2, scoring on the sac fly by Mookie Betts. 2 runs, 4 hits for Boston. No runs, just 1 hit for the Astros after piling up 17 hits last night. Sometimes I wonder if there's any such thing as momentum in baseball. Of course, you can get on winning streaks. I don't know how much momentum plays into that. Tapper in front of the plate. Conger on it quickly. He'll get the out. A couple of ground ball outs here to start the 4th inning. Brings up the 9-hitter, Sandy Leon.
Yeah, momentum is an interesting question, especially after the last 2 games we've seen the Astros play. That game against Kansas City, it looked like Kansas City kept grabbing the momentum back. And then last night, the Boston Red Sox kept fighting back. but the Astros ended up with the victory. So it could be inning by inning, it could be game by game, or series by series. But with baseball, you play 162 games. There's a lot of momentum shifts going on.
Sometimes I think what winning streaks are made of is just getting 3-4 hitters, for example, hot at the same time. Maybe getting some pitchers working the same way.
So true.
Shift on for Leon. Takes a strike. It's 1-1. Leon had a base hit in the second. There's the nice slow curveball. Not exactly the 12-6 that we see a lot of the time from Colin. McHugh with just one strikeout. That came in the first inning. Curveball again. Ground ball off the body of Singleton. He'll feed on to Colin McHugh, who drops it. And so Leon reaches here with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Hard to figure what might have gone on for Colin McHugh there.
Well, I think the throw was up the line behind the bag, and Colin McHugh might have been anticipating contact. Ball kicked off Singleton. The good thing he did is went after a bare hand, but on the backhand, Colin McHugh unable to get that in the glove. Or maybe he just boxed it.
Yeah, it looked to me like maybe the latter. It's an E1. Colin gets the error. First error committed on the afternoon by either team. And now that leadoff man, Mookie Betts, at the plate. Betts has walked and scored in the first inning, then came up with a sac fly in the second. For Betts, RBI number 39. Colin finds the strike zone, 1-1.
Good cutter. Showing a little bit better command here in the last couple innings.
Talking about some of the exploits of Colin McHugh. The Astros, as we all remember, won a franchise record 11 consecutive McHugh starts. That from August of last year to May 7th of this year. Conger sliding to his left. 2-2 the count on Betts. And with some of the command issues today from Colin McHugh, you kind of remember back to the start of the season. First 13 starts had not allowed more than 2 walks in any of them. Flip on to second base, the force play. That'll do it for the Red Sox in the 4th inning. They leave a man. It's 2-0 Boston.
Astros found it by millimeters last night. A drop shot from Chris Carter just under the glove of Diaz, and this is a big one right here from Altuve. A couple of runners in scoring position just out of the reach of Bogarts. How about some of the mental lapses we saw on the Red Sox side? Hanley Ramirez can't remember what the count is. I had no idea there were 3 balls on me before that ball 4. They actually play those rules here in the big leagues. And remember, there's 3 outs. Ground ball to third, out at first base, 3 outs. But Chris Carter trying to go for that 4th, get an advance on the next inning. Diaz has got something to say about that. He wanted that call reviewed. But some entertaining momentary lapses.
Evan Gattis leads off here in the 5th inning. Astros down 2-0. Towering pop into shallow left center. Eventually coming on to make the play. Hanley Ramirez. And out number 1. Gattis 0 for 2 on his day. Clay Buchholz has allowed 1 hit. That a second inning double by Valbuena. A little flare that dropped inside the chalk down the left field side. Other than that, nothing. And it's one of those days where it looks like Buchholz could have, the special stuff. He's already thrown a no-hitter in his career. Shift on for Colby, who struck out in the 2nd inning. That was a key out for the Astros. Valbuena had, as we talked about, led off with the double. Gattis hit a ground ball to the right side to move Valbuena to third with 1 out. But Colby struck out, and then Singleton struck out. Oh, and 2 the count. With 2 strikes, the Red Sox shift things around entirely. They send Sandoval, the third baseman, to the right side. And moving back to the left side is the shortstop, Bogarts.
Well, I think the third baseman plays in guarding against the bunt. When the bunt is eliminated from Colby Rasmus' repertoire with 2 strikes, they move the shortstop back to shortstop and put the Panda out there at second base.
Which means the Panda has to turn the double play on a ground ball hit to short.
With nobody on.
Ah, yes. Well, I'm wondering, could that come up, though, with a man at first base?
It would be interesting to see how they play that out.
Second time today, Rasmus down on strikes. That's 6 recorded by Buchholz. 2 outs in the 5th inning. It brings up Singleton.
Well, that first strikeout for Colby was on a great changeup from Buchholz. Here, just comes back and overpowers him with the fastball up in the zone. And you were talking about how well he's pitching. Even the hit he's given up to Valbuena was just a drop shot that he got jammed on in left field.
Base is empty for Singleton. Strikeout victim in the 2nd.
There it is, that traditional 2-seamer. Put a finger on each one, let that thing ride.
Interesting to see a 2-seamer get swung under.
Yeah, usually that's the typical sinker.
Big swing and a fly ball to center field. Betts is there as he moves to his right and in. Puts it away. Another 1-2-3 inning for Buchholz. He is breezing through 4.5. Red Sox lead it.
the 5th. Red Sox with a 2-0 lead. Come out to the St. Arnold's Bar at Minute Maid Park for Baseball on Tap Friday, July 17th. Baseball on Tap kicks off at 4:30 p.m. and features a beer tasting, live music, and a souvenir Astros pint glass to the first 500 fans in attendance with an event ticket. For more information, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/baseball on tap. Ash.
Thank you, Julia. Clay Buchholz has really had it go his way this afternoon. 54 pitches to get through 5 innings. And again, 6 strikeouts recorded by Buchholz. Just 1 hit against him. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-hitter Brock Holt at the plate. Holt has reached twice on the afternoon, a single and a walk. He'll be followed by Xander Bogaerts and David Ortiz. Colin McHugh has yielded just 4 hits, 2 of those in the first, 2 in the second inning. First 2 innings for Colin required 42 pitches. His 3rd and 4th innings combined for 26 pitches, so getting a lot sharper. One and 2 now, the count on Holt. This continues to swing a very lethal bat against the Astros. Two and 2. The Astros winning percentage at .585. That's 1 point better than the Kansas City Royals. The Astros have won 5 in a row. Another little tapper. On it again is Conger, and he'll throw and hit the runner. And we'll see if this eventually will change. See if maybe Holt was inside that baseline. No indication from any of the umpires. Into second base, Brock Holt.
A.J. Hinch, an ex-catcher. This might be a decent angle to look at. Conger already had one of these plays early in the game, made it, but you can see Holt on the grass. Makes it a tough angle for the catcher coming on the inside of the diamond to try and make that throw.
Watching that throw initially, I thought it had hit the runner, but that's just a poor throw. And when that happens, I have seen interference called. Holt was inside the baseline, no doubt about it, but usually the umpires will just say, hit him, we'll call it. So it's an E2.
I was actually surprised to see Conger not mention it back to the umpire.
Yeah.
Because usually that's the first instinct of a catcher, to look back and go, hey, I couldn't make the throw because he was on the inside part of the diamond. But like you said, he's almost got to drill him to reinforce the fact that he was on the inside of the diamond.
Almost always the case with the umpires. Go ahead and hit him.
Yeah.
Second error of the afternoon, both committed by the Astros.
Is there anybody you played against that you really wished would have been on the inside of the diamond one time? Just said, here's my chance. Popped the glove a couple times and
just made me realize I never thought that out well enough.
Got a lot of time to think up here.
Yeah, I'm sure I could have come up with somebody. Of course, you'd wind up, crank it, and throw it wildly. Xander Bogaerts, 1 for 2 on the day, RBI single in the first inning. 1-2 the count for Colin. Now that's a costly error. To get Holt to start the inning makes a huge difference over now a man at second base, nobody out. Line drive down the left field side. That'll get to the wall and produce a run. Number 3 for the Red Sox. Into second, Bogaerts, his second hit of the day. And now has a single and a double with 2 ribbies. 3-0 Red Sox.
Really wish there was some way to explain what's going on, or that Colin McHugh is leaving a pitch up out of the plate with 2 strikes, but we saw a good breaking ball before to get a swing and miss. Now this one, not a bad pitch. It's down. It's a little bit in. Conger, you can see in the background going down to block this. It's just an excellent job by Bogaerts to go down there and get this pitch and line it down left field.
37 RBIs now for Bogaerts, and again 2 on the afternoon. David Ortiz stands in. You can see some good young talent with the Red Sox. In particular, Betts in center field, Bogaerts at short. Brock Holt has been so great against the Astros. You have to like him. They've also got some older veteran-esque players. '79 pitches now for Colin. 2-0 on Ortiz. Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck. And 3-0. I don't think David Ortiz has to look to see if he's got a green light.
Yeah, he makes that call on his own.
Ortiz with 5 RBIs in his last couple of games. Reached base yesterday 4 times. And a big game tying RBI double off the monster in left field that came in the 8th inning. And ball 4. Ortiz took a glance, appeared anyway, toward the Astros dugout on the third base side. Nobody out, a run in. Runners at first and second for Hanley Ramirez.
David Ortiz takes those walks seriously. Walked all the way down to first. And he's there.
He looked like he was very angry about taking 4 balls. Hanley stands in 0 for 2.
I wonder if it might have been the pitch location on ball 4. Just a little bit up and in.
Shame on a pitcher. Can't do that to a veteran like Ortiz, can you?
I don't know. I've always found David to be a nice guy. But he is having a rough year. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a mood changer.
Strike is taken. 1-1 now on Ramirez. It is 17th bomb that came in the 2nd inning, leading off in last night's game. One more game in the series. That's a day game tomorrow, 12:35 start. Lance McCullers goes to the mound against left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez. Then the Astros head on to Cleveland for 4 against the Indians. Dallas Keuchel gets the ball in that first game. Should be a good one. Keuchel versus Carlos Carrasco.
A couple of 10-game winners.
And then Vince Velasquez hooks up with Corey Kluber in the second game, where the Indians throw some pitching at you. Game 3, Trevor Bauer goes to the mound. Two and two the count. Colin is struggling. Back in 2000, Hanley became a member of the Boston Red Sox, non-drafted free agent. Traded to the Marlins. That was a big deal at the time.
It really was.
Hanley Ramirez for Josh Beckett, and the debate went on for a lot of people. Who do you want, the pitcher or the position player? Fly ball shallow into center field. Correa with the call. He makes the catch. 1 out in the 5th. Hanley Ramirez at the time was kind of that young, well, he was almost the Carlos Correa of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a little more experience, but a guy that I think everybody coveted.
Well, I think that label you know, the #1 prospect, best player in their organization type deal, future phenom. And they traded him away for Josh Beckett.
And I guess the answer for everybody at that time was, well, I guess it depends on needs of your team.
And at that time, the Boston Red Sox were looking for a little more immediate impact on their ball club and felt it was in that pitching.
Sandoval at the plate, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. After watching last night's game, I feel for the moment like Sandoval might be better batting left-handed against left-hand pitching.
He did put together some good at-bats. Clutch hits, too.
Right on the hands, the fly ball to right field. Making the catch, Presley. Played it well, and the runners hold for the second out. That'll bring up Mike Napoli, 0 for 2 on his day. And again, not to rub it in on Napoli, but he had a rough night in the opener last night. And the overall would say it hasn't been a kind season so far. 194 the batting average. But he does have 10 home runs, always dangerous, and leads the Red Sox in home runs right here at Fenway, 7 of them on the year.
Well, between Mike Napoli and Chris Carter, some incredibly similar numbers. Batting averages. Chris Carter's got more home runs. With a couple of first basemen trying to battle through it.
Talking about that deal the Red Sox made, Ramirez and Beckett. 2004, the Boston Red Sox won the World Series. They swept through in 4 games. They came back and won the World Series in 2007. Went to the series and won it again in 2013. 3 times winning the World Series in a 10-year span. Ground ball back to the mound. Colin makes the play. And that'll do it for the Red Sox. They get another run, though, in the 5th inning and leave a pair. Through 5, 3-0 Red Sox.
On the face of the earth.
This moment in history is brought to you by M.D. Anderson on Lou Gehrig Appreciation Day at Yankee Stadium, 1939. The Iron Horse fights the emotions of having his number 4 be the first ever retired Yankees number and delivers one of the most iconic speeches in baseball history. "3-0 Red Sox. We're in the 6th inning. As the first pitch fouled off by Hank Conger. The Astros have gone down on 7 pitches in each of the last 2 innings. That fastball fouled off, number 55 on the afternoon, delivered by Buchholz. So the number's very economical for Clay. Colin McHugh, on the other hand, has thrown 92 pitches. 0-2 on Conger. He'll be followed by Alex Presley and Jose Altuve.
Tell you what, that Lou Gehrig speech every time kind of gets you.
Yep. I don't know how much they knew about that disease at the time. Do you think that Gehrig knew exactly what he was in for? Line shot into right center field. Second hit of the afternoon for the Astros. A leadoff single in the 6th inning by Hank Conger. And we'll see if the Astros can get something happening.
We talked about how Conger in his first at bat did make the out by flying out to left field, but he had a chance to see everything that Buchholz had to offer. So he went up there with a little bit extra knowledge in this at bat, got himself a fastball and ripped it. Good piece of hitting.
Alex Presley 0 for 1. Struck out looking in the 3rd. Now has seen that batting average dip to .333. Buchholz has varied his pitches so well. You've talked about having the full assortment, using both sides of the plate. He started guys with curveballs, sliders, fastballs. He's just been all over the map, and I don't think the hitters have had any kind of a real read today.
Yeah, you try and pick up on tendencies. You're getting the reports, and then you go out there and face a guy, and you've got the realization about second inning that Clay Buchholz was going to be able to locate all 4 pitches. So that, yeah, that makes it extremely tough to figure out what he's doing. We saw, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd inning, went out there and started everybody with first pitch breaking balls. Now he's coming out here with the aggressive fastball. Maybe they'll have a chance to get to him.
Sandoval drawn in on the third base side. Presley now down in the count 0-2. Red Sox picking up runs in the 1st, 2nd, and 5th innings. Runs much more challenging to come by today than last night. 20 runs scored overall last night, but 12 for the Astros.
A lot of hits last night. Great offensive game. Might be a little fatigued. Long night last night, early start today.
Not a good swing, but getting a piece, fouling it off Presley. Just 2 hits against Buchholz. And really, this hit by Conger, the first legitimate hit. One and two.
See if he comes back with that changeup. A lot of pitchers like to throw that fastball up in the zone, try and get a guy to chase. Presley lays off it, but it may have earned himself the changeup.
You see no shadows on the field. Cloud covered skies all day. A little threat of rain, but not much. Ground ball right side. Holt gets an out at second. They try. No, they don't even bother trying to get the double play. It's a force play. Conger erased 4-6. Presley reaches on the fielder's choice, out number 1 and back to the top of the order. Altuve looking for that first knock of the day, trying to extend the hitting streak to 12 games. 0 for 2, and the batting average at .301 for the reigning batting king in the American League.
Still sitting on that career high 7 home runs.
When you look at the American League leaders right now in batting average, Miguel Cabrera back at the top. He's at 350. Prince Fielder at 347. Jason Kipnis, Jose Iglesias, who's been really good for the Tigers, and Dustin Pedroia sitting on the DL now for the Red Sox. That's your top 5 in the league. But that goes down to 306. So Altuve could quickly find his way into the top 5.
Well, Miguel Cabrera just went on the DL with that calf strain. Tough times up there in Detroit.
Yeah, the Red Sox, quite a question mark. It just seems like they're loaded with talent. Did I say the Tigers?
Yeah. Iglesias, he can pick it. Now he's got the bat to back it up.
Exactly.
Anibal Sanchez pitched extremely well the other day.
Tigers are 40-39, a game over 500 at the start of play today. 6 games out in the American League Central. Minnesota Twins are in second place. Boy, some numbers that don't make sense right now.
Yeah, they really don't. Talked about one last night. They're one of the few teams in Major League Baseball at 9 games they've given up 10+ runs.
Big swing by Altuve. Ball and a strike. Giancarlo Stanton on the DL now for Miami. Still leads the National League in the major leagues in home runs at 27. Bryce Harper has hit his 25th. Todd Frazier also at 25. Have you looked at what Nolan Arenado's been doing? Leads the majors in RBIs now.
Yeah, he's raking.
Fly ball to center field. Altuve's now 0 for 3 on the day. Second out of the inning. Brings up Preston Tucker. Tucker 0 for 2. .65 pitches. Buchholz in a great position to maybe complete this one. The Astros would love to get something going against the fine righty.
We saw some 2-out lightning out of Astro bats last night.
Did we ever? Timeout called at the plate. Yeah, looking for a big swing at some point. Tucker backs away.
Well, that's been a luxury that the Astros have been sitting on all year long. Not trying to force the issue, waiting for that one mistake and waiting for somebody to crush that mistake.
Mistakes have been few and far between from Clay Buchholz. On the 1-0 comes with that big slider. Pitch in the dirt, moves the runner Presley into second base. Likely a wild pitch.
Yeah, Clay doesn't have that standard breaking ball like Colin McHugh. We call it a 12-6, but this one a little more of a slurve. You can see some good late nasty break. Firm break to it too.
Leon never got down on that one. Again, pitch in the dirt, and again, Leon stays on his feet. Carlos Correa waits on deck. Don't know if the Astros hitters have taken the mindset yet to try to get on base any way possible to bring Correa to the plate. But you would also figure that this guy Tucker is going to have to be productive. Breaking ball hit sharply, but handled by Napoli. He feeds on to Buchholz, and that'll do it. No runs a hit. They leave a man at second base. We've played 5 1/2, 3-0 Sox. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. 4th of July in Boston, 3-0 Red Sox. Well pitched. And we thought it might be coming in. Clay Buchholz had won 3 in a row. Same story for Colin McHugh. McHugh now 69. Well, is that right? 69 total pitches. No, it's up to 90. And that first pitch misses. 1-0 the count. 8-9-1 for the Red Sox. Shane Victorino leads it off. Ball and a strike. Victorino 1 for 2. Had a base hit and scored a run in the second inning. That first at bat back from the DL. And first outing for Victorino since the month of May. There's the high heater that can be so effective for Colin.
Let's see if he backs that up with that breaking ball down in the zone. You see Clay Buchholz working high in the zone and coming back with changeups.
Again, the high cheese. I'd say what I haven't seen from Colin today, along with command, is that over-the-top curveball, that 12-6. Roberto Hernandez, who picked up the win last night, getting loose for today's game.
Be interesting to see how AJ works that bullpen after using everybody out there yesterday.
One of the reasons I think the 12-6 curveball can be crucial for Colin is it means he's staying right over the top of the baseball. Therefore, the four-seam fastball doesn't get yanked side to side. A little pop-up on the left side. Playable. Valbuena in the coaching box. And out number 1 in the 6th inning.
The pitch usage you're talking about, Ash. First 13 starts on the left. Last 3 starts on the right-hand side. Bump up in that fastball makes that curveball a little bit more effective, but the fastball, sometimes that cutter gets mixed in there a little bit. But I think for Colin McHugh to have that effective breaking ball, he has to locate that fastball. And when we talk about pitching up, he pitches up in the strike zone. He doesn't try and elevate out of the zone to raise guys' eye level. He tries to get those swings and misses and some of those called strikes in the top of the zone.
Sandy Leon at the plate is 1 for 2 on the day. Hitting just 155. But we saw Colin try to do exactly what you're talking about, Blummer, on the previous hitter. Try to come up with a fastball and yet yanked it. And to me, that says he's sweeping across behind the ball instead of being right behind it.
Yep.
That could be just a factor of being in the middle of the season, a bit of a tired arm. You don't get in position the way you want to. One and two the count.
Yeah, fatigue will definitely set in and alter those mechanics a little bit. And it's funny, you alter a leg kick or how you get to your balance point on that one leg, and that could affect how that arm comes through that release point. If it drags a little bit, like you're saying, Ash, you get on the side of the baseball or behind it too much. But if you're going good, you're out on top, you're getting good location and good downward action on that breaking ball.
You know, we always talk about pitchers and tired arms and how many times during the course of a year and that sort of thing. As an infielder, did you go through those stages?
Oh, there were funks all the time. Yeah, you weren't getting that good first step to get those ground balls.
Curveball, line into right field, diving try by Presley, can't quite get there. It's a 1-out single for Leon, his second hit of the afternoon. And brings up the top of the order. Mookie Betts comes to the plate.
Get some good passes at those breaking balls too. It's not quite the sharpness, but it talked about a game of inches last night. Alex Presley giving it his best shot here, trying to snag that one. Actually pretty lucky that the glove knocks that ball down, because if it gets by him, Leon's off to the races.
Well, you were talking about those 2-out RBIs last night for the Astros. 6 of them And you'll win on those nights every time. That's extra bases down the left field line off the bat of Mookie Betts. His first hit of the day, and now being waved to the plate, Leon. And he will score without a throw. 4-0 Red Sox. A one-out double by Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts and Bogarts are eerily similar swings for me. They do a good job of staying on some pitches, but they kind of sweep through the zone with their bat. But this is a this is a slider that backs up in the zone. And because Betts' hands are back so well, he's able to snap hook that down the left field line.
That ball stayed in the corner long enough that Leon was able to score from first base. That's going to do it for Colin McHugh. A.J. Hinch has brought the hook with him to the mound. He'll go to the bullpen for Roberto Hernandez. 4-0 Red Sox here in the 6th inning.
At bottom of the 6th. Time now for our AT&T call to the bullpen. It will be Roberto Hernandez. Saw him pitch last night. Pitched effectively. Now in the bullpen in that long man role. As a reliever, .64 ERA. 6 straight shutout innings. He's really got that sinker working, doing a good job of getting on top of that and driving it down through the zone. Called on to get out of this jam and maybe pitch a couple more innings, extend himself a little bit in this game, and try and give that bullpen a rest and allow enough time for the Astros offense to get back in this ball game.
Now, when Hernandez was taken from the starting rotation and put in the bullpen in that long man role, you wondered, would he get many opportunities to pitch? Well, he's become kind of Mr. Versatility now for the team.
Well, and as well as he's pitching too, you know, they're going to go to him when they can.
4th inning now for the Red Sox to put a run on the board. They lead it 4-0, still threatening. 1 out man at second base, speed with Mookie Betts, and Brock Holt at the plate, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Takes a strike. Holt has singled, walked, and reached on an error. Hit a little dribbler out in front of the plate, and it was Holt running down the line that saw the throw go by him from Hank Conger down the right field side. 2-base error on that play. Ball and a strike.
Back-to-back changeups from Roberto.
I think that could be the key pitch for Hernandez. Tough part of the order: Holt, Bogarts, Ortiz, Ramirez, Sandoval, and of course Betts with that double driving in a run. 2nd RBI of the day for Betts, and 40 on the season. 7 Boston hits now. The Astros with just 2 against Buchholz. Hit down the left field side, slicing to the seats. Boston Red Sox are right in the middle of the pack in the American League in runs scored. They're 8th. They're 8th in home runs. A little surprising playing here at Fenway. 11th in stolen bases. They draw some walks. They're 5th there. And 6th in batting average. But it's been about the pitching, and they have just not had much. Chili Davis, hitting coach for the Red Sox. I don't know if he was trying to get the arm loose and maybe do a little pitching.
Showing some versatility with the shades.
Fly ball. Will this stay in play? Over to the seats and making the play is Tucker. That's 2 down in the inning. And now Xander Bogaerts comes to the plate.
Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
First base open. Xander Bogaerts is 2 for 3, a single and a double. He's driven in a pair. So all the RBIs have come from the 1 and 3 spots for the Red Sox.
It's been a year-long theme for the Red Sox.
Red Sox just 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. But at this point, it doesn't matter the way Buchholz has been pitching. Of course, that number can at times be deceiving. You get in this 6th inning a 1-out double by Mookie Betts with a man at first base. No scoring position stat, but still driving in the run. Red Sox trying to even the series at a game apiece. Second of 6 meetings between the two teams on the season. Look at that previous pitch.
I mean, sometimes you're going to miss your spot as a pitcher, but if it's in the strike zone, you'd like to have it called a strike, and there haven't been too many of those. Guccione behind home plate, proving to be a little bit of a hitter's umpire this afternoon.
Yeah, I thought Corey Blazer last night, though he, like any umpire, maybe called a few off the plate for a strike, I thought in general he had a real good consistent strike zone.
And again, that's what you're looking for, is consistency. He was off the edges. He didn't really elevate his strike zone too much, but he did give a couple inches off each side for both pitchers, and I think that forced those guys to swing the bat a little more often.
Well, the 2-out walk to Bogaerts now brings up David Ortiz. Ortiz 0 for 2 with a walk. The Astros employ the shift defensively. "14 home runs for the Big Papi." Strike at the bottom of the knees. Just a .231 batting average, and the Red Sox need more from this big guy. Ball and a strike. Tigers lead over the Toronto Blue Jays in the 7th inning in Detroit, 5-1. Baltimore at the White Sox trailing 1-0. It's hit sharply but fouled down the left side. 1-2 now on David Ortiz. That game in Chicago in the 5th inning. The Yankees are hosting Tampa Bay, and the Yanks lead it 2-0. They're in the 8th. The only other game underway, San Diego at St. Louis. It's a 1-0 Padres lead in the 5th inning. Everything else on this 4th of July coming up later on. Ortiz stays alive at 1-2. Big Top Poppy 2 for 3 last night with a double. 2 RBIs, walked a couple of times. And lifetime against the Houston Astros in 24 previous games. Big Poppy hitting .402, 5 home runs. Very close and taken for a ball. It's 2-2.
Great pitch. See how close it actually is. Hits his spot, but again, not giving anything off the edges is Guccione.
Think a guy like Ortiz intimidates home plate umpires?
It depends on the personality. There might be umpires that are willing to challenge Big Poppy, but I'm sure that his reputation gives him a little extra off the edges.
Ortiz has been effective at home this year, hitting .266. But of his 14 home runs, just 5 have come here at Fenway. David Ortiz is now just 20 home runs shy of 500.
That's a big number.
Stays alive. It's 2-2. 26 RBIs, and he'll be at 1,600. Wonder for a lot of baseball fans if they would know where the career of David Ortiz began in the big leagues. Minnesota Twins, 1997. Into the Red Sox in 2003. And now the fans chanting Poppy. Doesn't get cheated very often, that's for sure. Topped out at 54 home runs back in 2006. Well, he put up some seasons back to back to back. From 04 through 06, RBIs 139, 148, and 137. He had 5 consecutive seasons over 100. One of the game's great run producers, David Ortiz.
He's been Captain Clutch for a long time here in Boston.
Hit just .238 in 2009. And I think that's when a lot of people started to wonder, is David Ortiz done? But he came back the following year, 2010, hit .270 with 32 home runs, drove in over 100, hit .309 the following year, .318, .309, and so despite some slow starts, he just continues to be the big man here in Boston. Lines one at Singleton, and that'll do it. Ball hit sharply, but the Red Sox down in the 5th inning. Make that the 6th. They get a run, lead it 4-0.
offers incredible savings such as the all-you-can-eat seats at Minute Maid Park, available every game. This incredible deal offers endless savings and scores you a ticket and an unlimited ballpark favorite starting at only $35. For more info, visit astros.com/value or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. I need to visit this guy. What's he selling?
I was saying, I'm surprised you haven't. He has food to offer.
Hey, have y'all had any hot dogs today?
Not a bit.
No
Really?
chance.
Not a single 4th of July hot dog.
Absolutely no desire to eat a hot dog on 4th of July.
Come on.
No.
Evan Gaddis had at least 4 yesterday. That was just like an appetizer for him. Can you imagine how many?
Did he do it in less than a minute?
He could probably be a pretty good competitive eater.
I'm going to let him know you said that.
No, don't tell him.
Carlos Correa has a big rip as he fouls it back. 1-1 the count. I think Evan Gaddis ought to have 4 hot dogs again today with
what he did.
The night he had. Chris Guccione with a smile after that foul ball. You say nothing right there?
Who?
Guccione. Drilled into left field. This ball is a rocket for a hit. Carlos Correa gets his first knock of the day, 1 for 3. Leadoff single in the 7th inning, bringing up Valbuena. Boy, he gets onto that a little bit, and it's still traveling.
Yeah, that was a scalded dog out there to left. Stayed on that slurve pitch a little bit better than before. That was a great swing. But again, Carlos Correa able to make those adjustments very quickly here early in his career against pitchers.
Valbuena with a double in 2 at-bats. Shift on. Sometimes I continue to wonder about a situation like this where you could maybe take advantage of that somewhat vacated left side of the infield. Is there any tendency to try to shoot one that way? And there's that changing of the guard.
And now look where Pablo's going. They're moving Brock Holt back to second base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop, and this answers the question you had.
Yep, that's it. So when there's the possibility of the double play, they leave their second baseman in place. That's pretty smart play. Oh, and 2 the count on Valbuena. Bummer, you got some rain in your forecast?
My dark sky app said it's coming. Just a light rain, though. You play through it.
We're in the 7th inning, 4-0 Red Sox. Clay Buchholz has been very tough throughout the afternoon. Just 3 Houston hits. Ground ball right side. Big Panda makes the play, gets the out at second, and the double play. It goes 5-6-3 on the double play. And the first one we've seen here in the series.
Great play. Valbuena hit that ball hard. And the shift proving worthy right here. Hard ground ball. Panda makes the play. Looks like he's been doing it for years. We actually saw him, or at least I did early on when the first game of the series, the Boston Red Sox got in late the night before, didn't take BP, but Panda was out there taking ground balls in that exact position. Now we know why.
Well, he got his feet in position quickly to be able to throw back to second.
Well, your first glance at Pablo Sandoval, you're probably saying he might have a tough time finding some range. But he actually has some very good feet, and that's why he's over there at third base. He's able to get to some balls. But right there, like you said, Ash, if he doesn't get his feet in good position, he doesn't make that good, strong throw and help them make that double play happen.
Base is empty now with 2 outs for Evan Gaddis, who's 0 for 2 on his day. Hopefully he's been Slamming down some hot dogs in between at bats here.
And the only reason I'm not going to eat hot dog on 4th of July is the Nathan's hot dog eating competition.
It's over though, right?
It's over, and Joey Chestnut has lost.
So you're a remorse mode, huh? Little dribbler, third base side. Panda has no response for the speed of Evan Gattis. It'll be an infield single, second hit of the inning, and bring up Colby Rasmus.
Maybe Evan Gattis only had 3 hot dogs, enabled him to beat that ground ball out. That 4th hot dog might have weighed him down.
A couple of big men involved on that play.
It shouldn't be a surprise that Evan Gattis, you see the form, the technique, the arms pumping, knees up, dorsey flexing, getting down to first base. He's got 4 triples on the season. You shouldn't be shocked that he beats out an infield ground ball.
I never did learn that dorsey flexing portion of the program. Where's Orbit when you need him?
In orbit.
Colby Rasmus has struck out twice today. It's one in the air down the left field side, back to the seats. 6 strikeouts for Clay Buchholz, but he hasn't picked one up since the 5th inning. You get to see the skin rash issue that Colby had with the bite?
No, I avoided that.
Colby backs away and takes a strike. It's 0-2.
Did you check it out?
No, I haven't seen it. And the Red Sox move it around. Got him looking. Outside edge, maybe expanded. 3rd time striking out for Rasmus, and that does it. The Astros get a couple of hits, but leave one. It's 4-0 Boston. Stretch. Red Sox leading at 4-0 over the Astros. And the Red Sox fans being treated to a nice afternoon. The Astros fans have been quiet with Clay Buchholz pitching so well, coming up with 7 strikeouts through 7 innings. Roberto Hernandez still on to work it on the hill as he gets loose here in the 7th inning. It was not the day that Colin McHugh envisioned today. He went 5 1/3, allowing 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 walks, crucial for Colin to go along with 7 hits allowed. And he exits with an ERA of 4.54. The Astros have managed just 4 hits on this afternoon, the Red Sox 7. So it's been a very different day than we saw yesterday. But Hernandez trying to keep it right here and give the Astros bats a chance to get back in this one. Hernandez will face the 5, 6, and 7 spots for the Red Sox here in the 7th. Clay Buchholz just 82 pitches to get through his 7 innings. He's thrown 62 strikes.
He has yet to get to a 3-ball count.
Been ahead, he's been effective, and not just throwing those heart of the plate strikes. He has been masterful on the corners.
All 4 pitches extremely effective.
Hanley Ramirez leads off for the Red Sox, 0 for 3 on his day. He'll be followed by Pablo Sandoval and Mike Napoli. No hits among those 3 guys. Yeah, what's the holdup here? Yeah, we're ready to go now, I believe.
Yeah, the shot clock hasn't gone off yet.
I still haven't heard it, but we'll go ahead and play. 277 the batting average for Hanley Ramirez. I don't know. I could see these Red Sox. I don't know about you. Maybe turning things around, but it's going to require obviously the pitching to change for this club. But I could see the offense coming to life in the second half.
Only 7 games out in the AL East. They could make a run at it. But again, you got to hold the other team down. Doesn't matter how many runs your offense scores. If your pitching is giving up more, it's going to make for a long season.
Hanley Ramirez has had quite a career against the Astros, hitting .376, 12 homers mixed in, 9 doubles, a pair of triples. There's the American League East. And yeah, that could tumble all over the place. You've recently seen your Orioles on top. The Rays have been there much of the season.
Rays offense has been taking a beating here in the last week, running into some tough pitchers.
I'd say the one real constant in that division has been the Red Sox in the bottom.
Just waiting to sneak up on somebody, maybe.
This offense, they could give some people fits. Ground ball right side, Altuve. And out number 1. And we check in with Julia.
Hello, guys. Earlier we played a little game. Let's name that Astro. This is brought to you by a local Honda dealer, and your clues were played in the Little League and Major League World Series. And then in 1995, he was 4th in the National League batting race. And he was acquired by San Diego from San Diego in 1994. Did you have any guesses up there?
I'm going to go Hannes Wagner.
Wow, that's way off.
Way off. Derek Bell.
It's Operation Shutdown, man. Derek Bell.
That's not nice of you to label Derek Bell with Operation Shutdown.
He labeled himself to Operation Shutdown.
Well, okay, if you're going to get historical about the whole thing.
Much like Pedroia named himself the Laser Show, Derek Bell said, hey, I'm going into Operation Shutdown. That was one of the more popular quotes, I think, in all of baseball.
If I'm not starting, I'm not departing is what he was saying, right?
I think if he wasn't starting, he was going to depart. He didn't want any part of sitting around waiting for somebody else to do his job.
Sandoval with a 2-1 count. He's the only Red Sox strikeout victim of the afternoon. Colin McHugh got him back in the first inning. So you're saying Hannes Wagner's not the right guess, though, on that one?
No, that was brutal.
Okay.
Foul tip. Looked like it ripped the glove of Hank Conger right off.
These catchers are tough guys. Is that a little wrist?
Yeah, wrist guard. Probably pretty happy he actually has that on right now.
It's a pretty good sinker getting the fly ball to left. Tucker makes the play. 2 down in the 7th inning as Mike Napoli comes to the plate. Napoli 0 for 3 on the day. Took a nice play to get him in the 4th inning by Luis Valbuena. A little bit of rain started to come down.
Yep.
Now you're forecasting light rain, though, right?
Yeah, playable rain. We can play right through this, boys.
Let's keep it going. Yeah, that was what I had heard earlier in the day, that they might get just a little bit of light rain come through. 0-1 on Napoli. Mike Napoli is closing in on 200 home runs on his career. He's right at 196. Now in his 3rd season with the Red Sox. He played 2 with Texas. Prior to that, 5 seasons with the Angels. And a 1-2 count. Does he look like a smaller guy than we saw a few years back? Always been very strong.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure about that. I mean, granted, I'm probably not paying as close attention to his shape as I probably should be, but.
Oh, that's the accusation that drops on me, that's for sure. 1-2-3 inning, and the 2nd strikeout for Astros pitching today. We played 7, 4-0 Red Sox.
Performance is powered by Kubota. Clay Buchholz on the evening or the afternoon, doing a great job showing all 4 pitches. Fastball, cutter, great changeup, the occasional curveball / slurve. Doing a great job of punching out these Houston Astros. How about in his last 30 innings against the Houston Astros, he's allowed 20 hits and only 4 runs. Continued ownership of these Astros bats.
So Buchholz works it here in the 8th inning. 7, 8, 9 coming up. John Singleton starts things. He is struck out and flied out. Had a little bit of a light rain coming down, a chance to make the field moist. Sharply hit, but right at Napoli, and out number one. And Conger comes to the plate, 1 for 2. Drilled one into right center field in the 6th inning. Any adjectives you'd like to fling around, Blummer?
I'm not going to fling yet. All I know as an infielder, when you get that light rain, sometimes you pick up that ball, it's a little bit moist.
Yeah.
That makes for a tough throw.
It does. Two and 0 the count. Alex Presley waits on deck. It's been a very quiet day offensively for the Astros. Popped up on the infield, left side. It's Sandoval with the call. He will drift toward the mound and make the play. 2 down in the inning, and brings up Alex Presley.
Well, he's not going to need any Visine to moisten his eyes, staring up into those raindrops.
It's 2-1 on one of the scorecards. 4-0 Red Sox on the main one. I don't know if that one actually qualified, but
oh, it does.
You can't grade your own papers, pal.
Wow, if I could, I wouldn't have played baseball. I'd have built my own rockets and gone to space. Or I would have built the first Doppler radar and figured out how much moisture there's going to be in the air.
See, you're going to try to say it's 3-1, but I'm going to suggest it may not be. Alex Presley 0 for 2. Speaking of which, would you spend $25 million to get on one of those rockets and go to space?
Absolutely not. I don't know. I might make sure my kids are well off before I put myself into a object that's going to be hurled into outer space.
Well, if you put it like that, I mean,
I'll make sure to bring my laser gun just in case I encounter some aliens out there.
Ooh, the Red Sox walking off the field on that close pitch to Presley. Well, they'll go back and try it again. 1-2 the count. Get our peek at the pitch.
Yeah, there's no give from Guccione behind home plate on either edge.
Looked like maybe a little tiny cutter coming back toward the corner.
Exactly, trying to backdoor that.
Two and 2. Presley trying to get on board to give Altuve a shot. The 2-2. Presley waving on a pitch not even close. 8 strikeouts for Clay Buchholz. So 1-2-3 8th inning.
Night home game is $1 Hot Dog Wednesday, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. The next $1 Dog Wednesday is July 22nd when the Astros take on the Red Sox. For more information, visit astros.com/$dogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. I know Blemmer's excited.
Oh, absolutely. I'm ready to load up. Just not today. I'm not in the right frame of mind.
Boston Red Sox fans are in a good frame of mind. They see the Red Sox leading at 4-0, and it's time for Sweet Caroline as they just conclude the ritual in the 8th inning. Clay Buchholz had 92 pitches now with 1 inning to go. And Roberto Hernandez has pitched well since coming on. Embarks upon the 8th inning. He'll face the 8, 9, and 1 spots. Shane Victorino takes a strike. Hernandez to the plate. That shift on 3 infielders on the left side leaves the right side wide open, and the broken bat single ensues. Leadoff hit. Second of the afternoon for Victorino brings up Leon. We'll see if the Red Sox try to play for a run to extend that lead to 5-0. Sandy Leon is a switch hitter. And he takes a strike. No sign of bunt. Again, the Astros employ the shift. Special unis and caps today for both sides, and yet only the Red Sox taking advantage. Colin McHugh was shooting for a 10th win today, trying to become, along with Dallas Keuchel, pair of 10-game winners prior to the All-Star break. Runner goes as the pitch is tapped foul. Last time the Astros had more than one 10-game winner going to the All-Star break was 1999. They had 3 of them that year. Jose Lima was 13-4, Mike Hampton 11-3, and Shane Reynolds 11-6. Ground ball's going to find another gap with that shift on. Back-to-back hits in the inning, and runners at first and second, nobody out. So Victorino and Leon take full advantage of wide open sides of the infield.
Time now for our Mako big hit of the game. Not much going on the Astros side, so we were going with the Boston Red Sox, and it was Mookie Betts. Got himself a hanging slider on the inner third of the plate. Turn and burn, gets it down inside that third base line. Got himself an RBI double to give the Red Sox that 4th run of the game.
For Leon, his first career 3-hit game. He's at first base. Top of the order now, Mookie Betts, who has just 1 hit, but he also has drawn a walk, had a sacrifice fly, reached on a fielder's choice. He's been on board every time he's come to the plate, or rather, with that sac fly in the 2nd inning, did produce a run. Takes a strike. With the 1-for-2 day for Betts, he's now hitting .280 on his season. Takes another strike. Boston Red Sox trying to win their 38th game of the year. That would get them to 7 games under 500. Oh, Betts offering on a pitch not close to the strike zone. Hank Conger was diving all over the place.
That was interesting.
Also saw the glove of Conger coming way up, and if you're going to slide and try to block a pitch like that, you want to make sure the glove stays down. Pitch raked, but way foul down the left side.
Hanging a change up, and he turned on it.
$36,703 on hand today. They listed as another sellout. There were over 38,000 last night. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. Drive to center field. That's going to send Colby back, and he's not going to get there. One hop up against the wall, extra bases. Victorino comes to the plate. He will score, being held at third as Leon, the catcher. It's an RBI double for Betts, his 2nd double of the afternoon, his 3rd RBI. And the Red Sox now lead it 5-0.
It's 41 RBIs now for the Red Sox leadoff man. Swinging himself a hot bat.
And as you so often see with Leon unable to score on that play, all of a sudden a leg has to be hurting.
Yeah, he doesn't play all the time. Now he goes out there, gets 3 knocks, held up on a double by Betts. Creates all kinds of issues when you start getting hits.
Getting on base, that's a tough thing to deal with. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, a run in. 5-0, the Red Sox lead it. Ground ball right side. Singleton freezes the runner at third base, so that's the first out of the inning as Brock Holt grounds out and brings up Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts has a pair of hits in 3 at bats, also has drawn a walk and driven in a pair. All 5 RBIs coming in the 1 and 3 spots today. That infield drawn in, but about halfway on the left side. Getting a little creative. A lot of teams are with drawn in scenarios. Play deep enough that you can still get an out at the plate. You ever tried to position yourself at third base in particular in a spot where you felt like you could avoid the 2nd hop?
Yeah. Yeah, I did not want to have that in between hop, and that's right where Valbuena's standing for me. Is just makes it interesting. You don't want to. I never wanted to have that lip of the infield grass come into play. This lip right here, that one could eat you alive if you get in a tough spot. Try to play in front of it, right on it, or behind it.
Two balls and a strike on Bogaerts.
But it's a great call on where they're playing right now. It was usually called that number 3 position, a little bit deeper behind that baseline. Still have time to get that runner at home, but
one big hop at third. Valbuena will push the runner back to the bag and get the out. 2 outs on ground balls. Still 5-0. And now the big man David Ortiz comes to the plate looking for his first hit of the day.
And that's why they're standing there. That was a good play. Because their first initial thought when they get the ground ball is the runner at third base. Once they freeze him, keep him at third base, continue on to first base to get that out. Here's a good look at it. Your concern is that runner at third base no matter what when you're in that position. See Valbuena make sure he keeps Leon at third base. Finish the play at first, get that out.
Now David Ortiz is going to be put on intentionally. That'll load him up for Hanley Ramirez. So A.J. Hinch wants no part of Ortiz. And that's Alejandro De Aza now in the on-deck circle. De Aza did come on defensively for Hanley an inning back, so he'll get his first plate appearance, and he'll do it with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the 8th. So the intentional free pass has the bases juiced. Hanley Ramirez wound up 0 for 4 on his day. And De Aza, you can see, does have a grand slam this year. Hitting .260 overall. Close but missing is Hernandez. De Aza, one of the many fine Dominican Republic born players. Takes a strike at the knees, inside edge. 1-1 the count. De Aza came up with Miami, moved on to the White Sox, Baltimore, and now the Boston Red Sox. In just his 25th game for Boston. With the Baltimore Orioles this year, hit just .214 in 30 games. Three of his 6 home runs with the Red Sox. Ground ball backhanded by Singleton. Hernandez way late leaving the bag or to the bag, and everybody's safe. Infield single, and that produces a run. It's now 6-0, and Hernandez just simply didn't leave the mound. A.J. Hinch is coming out. I don't know if A.J.'s looking for a review on this play.
He is.
What did you think watching it?
I was a little disappointed. I immediately saw that Roberto Hernandez didn't leave the mound. You can see he's frustrated with himself. He knows better. With that shift on, Singleton playing close to that line made a great backhanded pickup, and now it's just up to the review to either confirm or deny that play. But just disappointing that Roberto Hernandez forgot to go over and cover first. Looks safe.
Yeah, I think we'll see. The call confirmed at first base, and they've done it quickly. It didn't take long on that review. 6-0 Boston. So this 8th inning, the first time the Red Sox have put more than 1 on the board. 11 Boston hits now. And with the bases still loaded, Pablo Sandoval 0 for 4 on the day will stand in. Lance McCullers goes tomorrow against lefty Eduardo Rodriguez. 12:35 start. Changeup gets the swing out in front and over the top. Foul to the seats down the left field side. Counted 0-2 on Sandoval. That review took 29 seconds. That actually seems a bit long based on how quickly the umpires came out of that review. The 0-2. That's in the dirt. Nice job by Conger. It's been all Red Sox. They picked up a run in the first, second, fifth, sixth, and now 2 in the 8th inning. And the Astros just 4 hits on the day. Popped up. Back of second base. Carlos Correa calling. He makes the catch. That does it for the Sox. 2 more runs added to it. 6-0 Boston as we go to the 9th. Your low fare right now at southwest.com. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Astros and Red Sox, and it's been all Boston today. 6-0, 9th inning coming up. Top of the order for the Astros, Jose Altuve, Preston Tucker, and Carlos Correa. Was that your flyover earlier today?
Most likely. Can neither confirm or deny that.
Ground ball left side. That's going to do it for Altuve as he gets a knock in his 4th at bat. 12-game hitting streak. Well, maybe a little something kick-started by Jose.
Be nice to see. So right now, Buchholz is trying to go out there and pick up a complete game shutout. Last time he went CG was August 31st of 2014.
And the Boston Red Sox have not picked up a complete game this year. Preston Tucker 0 for 3 on the day. Tucker, Correa, Valbuena to follow. Mike Napoli at first base playing close in behind Altuve. The Red Sox want to make sure they keep Altuve at first base so they have a shot at the double play. For me, that's a smart way to play it. Hit down the left field side, slicing, and goes foul to the seats. Ball and a strike on Tucker. The best threat the Astros had on the day was back in the second inning. Valbuena, after doubling, was moved to third base on a ground out by Gaddis. But then Rasmus and Singleton struck out, and that's how bleak it's been today. Throw to first base, and nobody's there. Altuve actually held ground at first base for a while. He'll now move on to second base. It'll be an E1, and the Red Sox with their first error of the day.
I don't know if the ball was in play.
Wow, home plate umpire.
That's interesting too.
Chris Guccione comes out and says, get back to first base.
He also told AJ to get back in the dugout. He was a little aggressive.
What?
He was on the rubber.
How is that ball not in play?
He was on the rubber, wasn't he?
It looked like it to me.
That's what I wanted to wait and see, if he was on the rubber, because once you toe the rubber, the ball is in play, correct?
Boy, I'd like to see that again, because that's got to be an in play and an E1. And now wild pitch takes care of business.
What is going on?
He's on the rubber. So Chris Guccione simply makes a mistake. That ball is in play.
He was coming set and then threw that ball over.
A good throw there could have picked off Jose Altuve, not in it as an out, but just getting drilled. He was looking down.
Literally, yeah.
So Altuve in scoring position, still 6-0. Tucker late fouls it off. How about that? 6-0 ninth inning. Altuve taking a very short lead. And Buchholz throwing to first base. Well, that makes no sense at all.
Maybe that's why Guccione said send him back to first. That play doesn't make any sense. Do over.
Okay, I'll buy that better than he wasn't on the rubber. Fly ball left field. De Aza is there. Makes the catch. Out number one. Yeah, I wish Guccione had the opportunity to see that play immediately and just simply realize, no, you're wrong, and you can't come out and start telling people to stay in the dugout.
He's got 3 other friends out there to talk to. They could have helped him out.
You're making assumptions.
Again.
Carlos Correa stands in, has one of the hits on the day, laced one into left field in the 7th, but then was doubled up on a ground ball hit by Luis Valbuena. Apparently Team USA is popular here at Fenway today.
Big match tomorrow, isn't it?
That's about the ladies soccer, right?
I would hope so. Going for the World Cup tomorrow against Japan.
Ground ball hit to short. Bogarts makes the play. Second out of the inning and brings up Valbuena.
Stay tuned after the game as Bart Ennis and Mike Stanton break down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show presented by Houston Methodist.
Go down to an out. Valbuena 1 for 3 with a double. Little flare down the left field side in the second.
That was Clay Buchholz. 100 pitch on the game. He's been extremely efficient against these Astros.
Strike perfectly placed outside edge. It says a lot about the pitching of the Red Sox that they don't have a complete game on the season. And Clay Buchholz trying to pick up the first of the year for Boston. Oh, 2 the count. Down to a strike. And now moving into third base, Jose Altuve, as the Red Sox have their third baseman playing on the right side, their shortstop at short, and so nothing to stop Jose. Fielder's indifference. Now a good time on the day for the catcher Leon to go out to the mound. I believe that's the first time for Leon. And it comes with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th. Just outside.
Trying to get Valbuena to chase. He doesn't.
The 1-2 to Valbuena in the dirt. Clay Buchholz trying to go all the way. Line drive center field. There's the Astros' first run of the afternoon. Altuve will score it. RBI single Valbuena. And so it will not be a shutout for Buchholz. Evan Gattis will come to the plate.
It'll go a little ways for the psyche of the Houston Astros not being shut out today by Clay Buchholz. He's had shutout stuff. Just able to move the runner along here in the 9th, and at Valbuena getting a pitch up in the zone. Goes right back up the box with it. Still nobody loosening in that Red Sox bullpen. This is Clay Buchholz's game.
For Luis Valbuena, that's his 36th RBI. Runner goes from first. So the Red Sox not holding Valbuena. Go ahead and take the bag if you can. 0-2 the count on Evan Gattis. 1 for 3 for Evan. Pitch is hammered, but hooking foul down the left side. Again, Valbuena was on the move. Red Sox fans on their feet. And that drive out of the yard.
Again, a pitch up, and Evan Gattis somehow able to get the barrel around on it. Drive it out of here, literally.
Buchholz with another 0-2. Hit in the air. This likely does it. Coming on Victorino. He'll put it away. That is the end of the ball game. The Red Sox win it 6-1 as the Astros put a run on the board in the 9th inning on the RBI single by Luis Valbuena. And the Red Sox pick up their 48th, make that 38th win of the year. And the Astros suffer defeat and stopping that 5-game winning streak. Time of game today 3-0-2. And Clay Buchholz gets the complete game, 7th of his career.